it's Sonia here with a Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be crocheting a hat, and I am using my eye hook or 5.5mm hook. So for this project you will need 3 different colors. So I am using this yarn, number 4 worsted weight. So I have this unknown yarn. It almost feels like Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, so it might be that, I'm not sure, but the label is long gone. And then the next color is this green, and this is 100% Red Heart Super Saver number 4 yarn. And then number 3 of the yarn we're going to start with is this Big Twist Twinkle. It is sparkle yarn. I'm not always a fan of sparkle yarn because I don't think it feels very nice, but this one feels okay. So yeah, Big Twist Twinkle, and we're going to start with this one, as you can see, number 4 yarn. So this hat is going to be made bottom up, so what you want to do is you want to choose what your main color will be. So this sparkle yarn is going to be my main color, and we are going to start on the hat band first. So we're going to work foundation single crochet. So to do that, you're going to chain 2, and then in your second chain from your hook, you're going to insert your hook in the second chain, and you'll yarn over, pull up your loop like you're working a single crochet. So we have our 2 loops on our hook. We're going to chain 1 and then yarn over, pull through the remaining 2. So I feel like this is a little dark, but there is our chain we made. Alright, sorry my battery died. I am still using my sparkle yarn, but to demonstrate it, I just feel like it's very dark on here for some reason. And I've got all my lights on, so I don't know. So I thought I'll just demonstrate it with a lighter yarn so that you can see better what's going on. So you're going to chain 2 to start, and then in that second chain from your hook, I like to work in both loops. So some people work on the top loop, but for foundation single crochet, I like to work in both of the loops there. So it looks like you have 3 loops on your hook. So then I pull up my loop, and then I chain 1, and then pull through 2. So go back in again, and I like to pick up both of those loops, pull up my loop, chain 1. Because I have had people say when they see me demonstrate the stitch, for some reason they think it's a double crochet, which double crochet is your yarn over. We're not doing any yarn overs to start with. So you're just working in that chain you made. Again, I think because they saw the 3 loops for some reason, I don't know. But that is why it looks like that. So you're pulling up your loop, chain 1, and then pull through 2. So we have 3 foundation single crochets. So what you're going to do is you're going to work 72 of them. Okay, so I have finished my 72 stitches. So now we need to turn this into a circle. So what I like to do is I like to run my thumb and index finger down to the end, because we don't want to twist it. Then I swing it around, and then I just insert my hook in that first stitch and join it with a slip stitch to make our circle. And there we go. We are set to go for round 2. So we have finished round 1. So for round 2, we're going to chain 1, and we're working half double crochet in that first stitch, and we're just going to half double crochet all the way around. Alright, so I'm finishing up round 2. You're just going to join with a slip stitch in your first stitch to complete round 2. So again, 72 stitches. So round 3, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to half double crochet right back in that first stitch, half double crochet in the next one. Now we're going to work front post half double crochet. So Now it's hard to see, but that's a half double crochet stitch. So we're just working front post, so we're wrapping around that hook and working our half double crochet stitch. And we're going to do it in the next one. So we're working 2 front post half double crochet stitches for our hat band here. And now we're going to keep going. We're going to work half double crochet in the next stitch. So this is our repeat. So 2 half double crochet. So this yarn is splitting because of the sparkle part. Maybe I should have rethought this choice. And then we're working 2 front post half double crochet. So 2 regular half double crochet stitches and 2 front post half double crochet all the way around. So I'm going to keep going here and I will meet you back. Okay, so I am going to finish up round 3 by joining with a slip stitch in that first stitch. And now for rounds 4 and 5, we are going to be repeating round 3. So you'll chain 1, half double crochet in this first 2 stitches, and then work your front post half double crochet around the next 2. So I'm going to keep going, repeating round 3 for rounds 4 and 5, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I'm finishing up round 5, so I need to join, but I want to switch to my second color, so you'll need to choose what you want to use as your second color. So we're going to use this teal green here, and we're going to pull through. Now I'm not going to cut my main color. We are going to be carrying our colors to have less ends. So we are going to chain 1. We're going to double crochet in our first stitch and double crochet in the next. And now I'm switching back to my main color. So I have my last 2 loops on there, pulling through, again not cutting this color. And so the next 2 stitches are going to be front post double crochet. And now I'm going to switch back to my second color. So I have my last 2 loops on my hook, picking up my second color here, pulling through. And now we're going to start our repeat here. So we are going to work 6 double crochet. Okay, so I'm on my 6th stitch. I'm going to go back to my main color and we're going to pull through, not dropping the second color, and we're going to work 2 front post double crochet around these next 2 stitches. And in the second front post half double crochet, I'm going to finish off the stitch with my second color. And now we're going to do our repeat of 6 double crochet. So the next half double crochet stitch after the post stitch, you can see a little crunched, so I just peel it back there. So you want to make sure you don't miss it. So working 6, and then we'll switch back to the main color and work the 2 front post double crochet. So you're going to do that all the way around. So you're going to finish up your final front post double crochet here, and then you're going to work 4 double crochet to finish out round 6 here. So I'm going to go do that and I will meet you back. Okay, so I am finishing up round 6, and now I'm going to join my 3rd color. So it gets a little wild here with all the colors, but I think it's really fun. I love doing different colors. And again, we are not cutting our other 2, so the trick is making sure things don't get tangled up. Alright, so we've got color 3 joining the party here. So now we are ready for round 7, and we are going to be repeating round 6, but with color 3 instead of color 2. We're still using our main color 2. So when you're carrying your colors across, just make sure that the carries aren't too tight, because you don't want to add unnecessary tension on your hat. Alright, so you're going to chain 1, and you're going to work double crochet in that first stitch, double crochet in the next one, and then we're picking up that main color. She's over here, finishing off that stitch and working our front post double crochet stitches. And then going back to our 3rd color and working the 6 double crochet, and then we'll work the post stitches again. So I'm going to keep going here and I will meet you back. Okay, so I am finishing up round 7 here. So I worked my last double crochet, and now I'm going to go and pick up color, our first color, our main color. So we're going to work round 8 with our main color mostly. So we are ready to go for round 8 with our main color. So we are going to chain 1, double crochet in this first stitch, and we're going to double crochet in 5 stitches. So we're going to have a total of 6 with our main color. So we're not working front post double crochet there. Okay, so this is stitch 6. Now I'm going to be picking up my 3rd color, so that dark green that I'm using. We will get back to the second one, don't worry about that. Alright, so now we're going to work front post double crochet with this 3rd color. So 1 and 2. And now I'm going to go pick up my main color. So finish off that stitch, and we're going to work 6 double crochet, So now I'm going to pick up my 3rd color, finish off that stitch, and then work 2 front post double crochet. So it is like round 7. We're just switching around where we're putting the front post stitches. And then finish off, and then we'll be working the 6 double crochet. So there you can see the pattern starting to pop out there. So I'm going to keep going and I will meet you back. Okay, so I am finishing up round 8 here. I'm going to join with a slip stitch in my first double crochet, and now we are going to pick up our second color, which is the green teal color here. So getting ready for round 9. So the color sequence, it's going to be your main color. So my main color is this burgundy sparkle yarn. My second color is the green teal, and then my dark green is my third color. So you're just going to go in order of that. So we just finished up the main color here, so then my next color is going to be my second color. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to be repeating round 8 for round 9, but we're going to be using the second color. So I'm working my 6, so I chained 1, worked a double crochet in that first stitch, and I just picked up the sparkle yarn. Sometimes the sparkle part wants to, I don't know, get in the way. All right, so we're going to work 6 double crochet. And now I am going to pick up the third color because we're going to work 2 rounds of our post stitches for each color. So we did 2 rounds of post stitches with our main color here. So now we're doing 2 here. So working that front post double crochet. But it actually looks like 3 rounds because we just worked the 6 across, but then when you work the double crochet, it does puff out these stitches here. So just so we don't get confused. And then we continue. And again, just be mindful of your carries. So underneath, you don't want them to have them too tight, because if they're too tight, what's going to happen is, so if this was too tight here, it's going to cause your hat to pucker, and then, you wouldn't be able to wear it right. So you want to make sure that your carries are just nice and relaxed so that, someone can put this on their head. And also that your work looks nice and neat as well. So I'm going to keep going, working round 9 here, and then at the end of round 9, you will join, and then we're going to change to our third color because again we're working in sequence. So this is our main color, second color, and then we need to do the third color, which will be the dark green. All right, so I finished up round 9 here. So I have my third color. So we are going to work round 10. We're going to chain 1. We're going to work double crochet in that first stitch, double crochet in the next stitch. And now we are going to pick up our second color and finish off that stitch, and we're going to work 2 front post double crochet stitches. And now we're going to finish off and go back to our third color. Oops, yes we are. There we go. So round 10 is actually a repeat of round 7 here, but we're using our second color and our third color, but we're working the post stitches here. So now we're going to continue. I'm trying not to tangle up my yarn. It's a challenge, especially with this sparkly weird, that sparkle thread. It's almost like wiry a little bit. All right, so we're going to work our 6 double crochet with our third color. And now before I finish off that 6th stitch, I'm picking up my second color to finish it off. And now we are going to work our post stitches. So we're going to repeat this around. for round 10 here. Oh, I'm like, where did it go? Okay, so we are going to repeat that all the way around for round 10, and then round 11 you're going to join, and then we're going to switch back to our main color. And round 11 you're going to be repeating round 10, except you're going to be using your main color here, and you're still going to use your second color for the front post stitches. So I'm going to work round 10 and work round 11, and I will meet you back. Alright, so we finished up round 11 and I joined, and I'm ready with my second color here. So now let's get ready for round 12. So we are going to chain 1, and we are going to double crochet right in that first stitch, double crochet in the next one. We're going to work 6 total. Okay, so I've got my 6 stitches, so now I'm going to change to my first color, my main color here. And we're going to work 2 front post double crochet stitches. And to finish off the second stitch, I'm going to pick up my second color, and then we'll work 6 double crochet again. So you're going to repeat that around, and for round 13 you're also going to repeat round 12, but at the end of round 12 you're going to switch to your third color, and you're going to repeat round 12 so round 13 will be using your third color, and then you're going to do your post stitches with your first color. So as I said before, the color sequence is main color, second color, third color. So we have main color, second color, and then round 13 would be the third color. So I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you back at the end of round 13. Okay, so I am ready for round 14. We are starting with our main color. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to double crochet in that first stitch and double crochet in the next one, and we're going to be switching to our third color, and we're going to work 2 front post double crochet. So the pattern doesn't change. It's 6 double crochet, 2 front post double crochet, but what changes is where we're placing the front post stitches. And now we change back to our main color and work the 6 stitches. So for round 15 we are going to be repeating round 14 here, but at the end of round 14 you're going to switch to your second color, and you'll do round 15 with your second color, but you're repeating round 14. So your post stitches will still be with your third color there. So I'm going to keep going, and I will meet you back at the end of round 14, or 15, I'm sorry, the end of round 15. Okay, so now we are ready for round 16, and I've switched to my third color here, and we're going to start decreasing because obviously we need to turn this into a hat. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do a double crochet decrease right from the start. So these 2 stitches, so you have your yarn over, you insert your hook in that first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you have 3 loops, so you yarn over and pull through all 3. So it's just a traditional together or decrease stitch, and then we're going to work double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And now we're going to decrease again. And we are going to work our post stitch. So I have my 3 loops on my hook, so I'm going to pick up my second color here, yarn over, pull through all 3 of those to complete the decrease. And now we are going to work 2 front post double crochet. And we're going to pick up our third color, finish off that stitch, and we're going to keep going. So now we're going to do our repeat. So we're going to work a decrease or together stitch. I learned it as decrease. And we're going to work 2 double crochet. And now we're going to decrease again. And we're going to pick up our second color, complete the stitch, and now we work 2 front post double crochet, and then we just keep going around. And I'm not quite sure how many stitches we will have. I will let you know on the screen. So for round 17, we are going to work even. So at the end of round 16 here, you'll join with your first color, and we're going to work 4 double crochet with our first color, pick up the second color and work the 2 front post double crochets, and then 4 double crochet with the first color, the main color. So I'm going to finish up round 16 here and then work on round 17, and I will meet you back. Alright, so I have finished up round 17 here. We have our 54 stitches, and I didn't join yet because we are going to switch back to color A, or our main color. So, and I'll show you why. We are going to decrease still, and we are going to slip stitch in the next stitch with our main color. Now we're going to chain 1. So we're just moving those stitches over, and there's a reason for that. All right, we're going to work our front post double crochet in that stitch, front post double crochet again. Now we're going to switch back to our second color. We are going to work 2 double crochet decrease or together stitches, so there's our one, and here is our second one. And we're going to finish off that stitch with our main color. Just need to flip her over a little bit. So our hole is getting a little bit smaller. So now we're going to work our front post double crochet stitches. So it almost looks like we need to work here, but we don't. We already worked in that stitch. It just means because the stitches are kind of shrinking in a little bit. So we go into, it's easy to see where, because it's going to line up with these guys here. So you work the 1 front post stitch, and then the second one, and then finish off that stitch with your second color, and then you would work the 2 decrease stitches. So I'm going to keep going. All right, so we are still on round 18. We need to finish it up. So I worked the last 2 post stitches, switched back to my second color. So we're going to work 2 more decrease stitches. So we're just going to insert our hook into the next stitch. We've got our yarn over already started, working that one decrease stitch, and then we work the other one. So right here where we slip stitch, just it kind of gets a little difficult, just kind of wiggle your hook in there, pull up that stitch. So we finished up that decrease stitch, so we're going to join. We're going to pick up our first color, our main color here, to get started for round 19. So you're going to chain 1. We're going to work front post double crochet around that stitch. And we're going to work front post double crochet around the next, and then we are going to switch to our third color. So grabbing that, and now we're just working 2 double crochet. So we have 36 stitches now, so we went from 72 to 36, so we're definitely getting smaller here. Now I'm going to pick up my main color. So we're still working in pattern, we're just working with less stitches now. So getting close to being finished here, and then picking up. So hopefully with all these different colors it's not driving you crazy too much. So I'm going to keep going. And we are getting close to being done, so you can see here's our hat, here's our hole. Definitely getting smaller, but we still have a little bit of ways to go. Alright, so I finished up around 19. We have 36 stitches, so we're getting close to being done. So now we're going to chain 1. We have our main color, and we are going to work half double crochet decrease, but we're going to do a streamlined one because a traditional one is a little bit bulky. So you're going to insert your hook in the front loop of the next stitch. We already have our yarn over, front loop in the next one, so we have 4 loops on our hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2 of those, and then yarn over, and we're going to pull through 3, but we're going to finish off the stitch with our third color here. And now we're going to work front post half double crochet around the next 2 stitches. And we're going to finish up with, oops, yep, yes we are. So we're still switching our colors. So I'm picking up that main color. And now I'm working that decrease stitch, so we're going front loop, pull through 2, and then finish it off, and working the front post half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So I'm going to keep going around here, and I'll let you know how many stitches we have. Alright, so I finished up round 20. We have 27 stitches. I joined and I switched to my second color. So we are getting close to being done here. So I'm going to chain 1. We're going to half double crochet in that first stitch. And we're going to switch to our third color here. And now we're going to decrease with our post stitch. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to do a half double crochet, and we're going to insert our hook in both of these post stitches, just like that. And now you're just going to work the half double crochet stitch. But finishing it off with our second color. So we still want to work in pattern even though we are decreasing. I mean, certainly it's different because we're doing half double crochet stitches, but we want the color work to kind of be in pattern still. So our next stitch is half double crochet, and then switching to, so a lot of switching around, but it's not too bad. I like color work. And we're going to do that decrease. So you're just going to keep going all the way around here. Alright, so I finished up my last stitch. So I have my third color. I'm going to slip stitch in that first stitch. And we have one more round to go, and then we're going to close up the hole. So what you can do is you can cut the other colors to kind of get them out of the way. So I am going to do that. Alright, so I got those colors out of the way. We have 18 stitches, so around 22, I'm going to chain 1. We're just going to single crochet all the way around before we close this up. Stitch is quite tight. So just 1 stitch in each. Now if you wanted to use another one of the other colors, switch to one, that's completely fine. It doesn't matter for the last round what color you end up on. I'm just going to work my 18 single crochet here, and then we'll close up the hole. Alright, so I finished up, so there's our hole here. I joined, so now we need to close this guy up. So what you need to do is you can either cut your yarn and just weave in and cinch it close, your end, or you could sew it close, but I'm going to use my hole closing method that I like. I just find it gives a really nice, neat finish. So if you find this too fiddly, then by all means just, you know, cut your yarn and close, you know, sew it up, that's fine. But what you will need if you want to try this method is at least 2 hooks. One that's either the same size or a size or 2 smaller. I really don't suggest going larger. I just don't think it looks as nice. But I have another eye hook here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up loops. And I want my beginning loop to be fairly snug on my hook, not like so you can't move it back and forth, but you want it fairly tight. I'm going to go in the next stitch and I'm going to pull up a loop like I'm working a single crochet, but I'm not going to work it off. I'm going to go in the next one, pull up a loop, and I'm just going to keep going until I can't fit any more on. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. Now you can use 3 hooks if 2 is not enough, but I've done this so many times that 2 is fine. So I can't really wiggle my hook into the next one anymore. So I'm going to grab this second one right here. We're just going to let these guys hang out on there. So I have my second hook. I'm going to go to the very next stitch that's not used. So right here. I'm going to insert my hook in that stitch, take my working yarn, and pull up a loop. And I'm going to keep going all the way around. And like I said, if this is so tricky, yes, you can use 3 hooks. It's completely fine. Last one's a little tight. We're going to get that in there. There we go. That's why I suggest don't go up a hook size. Alright, so we have all of our loops on our hook. So what you need to do, we're going to work a giant slip stitch around these loops and this one here. So you're going to take your working yarn, you're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through. So you want to do it very carefully. So you're going to take that loop and put it onto the other hook. This guy, we're done with that. So you want this loop to be tight. So you're going to pull it closed, and you're just going to continue pull through your loops. Just do it carefully, slowly. Okay, so there's my last one. So sometimes it's hard to pull it out. That is okay. It's going to be fine. So what you want to do now is you're going to get your scissors. You're going to cut it. Now this tail, you don't want to just pull your, sometimes you can just pull your hook out and then, you know, you can be done. But with this method, you want to take your tail, you want to feed it through the loop. So I just did a yarn over, Feeding it through, just like that. Now you're going to take your tail and you want to give it a good pull so it's nice and snug. So you're going to notice there's like a little bubble right there and you're like, oh, that doesn't look nice. Why did we do this? We're going to fix that. So how to do that is I take my hook, I insert it into the hat, and I insert it in that hole. So you'll see this hole here. You want to get your hook in there. Just like that. Grab your tail, wrap it around your hook, pull it through. Then just take your hand inside your hat and just give it a nice pull. Like you want it tight. Like I put some muscle into it. Not going to hurt a thing. So once it's nice and tight and you inspect, and look how much nicer that looks. So of course what you'll need to do is you'll need to block your hat, and I will obviously, I think this hat needs a little bit of blocking, especially with the yarn overs, just to kind of just straighten her out a little bit. I'll just wet block it even though it is acrylic yarn. So then of course you'll need to weave in your ends. If you want to add a pom-pom, you could certainly do that. And then you're all set for wearing. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.